Good morning, I'm God Scribe Roger, and this is GSR News. And God's News Today and HP News. Calling fire down. The false prophet down here will call fire down from heaven and consume the sacrifice on the altar in front of the people. And they'll cry out praise to the Pope. He is of God. So out of the mouth of the false prophet of the Catholic Church, he's going to cry out, consume the sacrifice with fire. And the fire will come down from heaven and consume the sacrifice. Where is this going to happen? At the new temple in Jerusalem after it's built. The beast will be slain and rise from the dead. And this false prophet is going to tell everybody to go worship him. That's what it's all about here. Satan wants full control. So let's begin. Satan continues to deceive. Luke chapter 9 verses 54 through 56. King James Bible only. Verse 54. And when his disciples James and John saw this, they said, Lord, will you that we command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, even as Elijah did? But he turned and rebuked them and said, You know not what manner of spirit you are of. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. And they went to another village, because they wouldn't receive him at the village where they were going into, because Jesus' face was as though he'd go to Jerusalem. Jesus told us of these devils. Matthew chapter 24, verse 24, King James Bible only. Verse 24, For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. So you can see we cannot be deceived by this false prophet or the beast or Satan. The false prophet of the Catholic Church directs you to worship Satan's son, the beast. Revelation chapter 13 verses 11 through 13, King James Bible only. Verse 11, And I behold another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spoke as a dragon. This is the false prophet that he's describing here. Verse 12, And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast. The first beast is the son of the devil that was wounded by a sword, but did live. He rose from the dead. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Verse 13, And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. I'm going to do a little editing here. Satan has always tried to turn us from God. Job chapter 1 verses 12 plus 16. Verse 12, And the Lord said to Satan, Behold, all that he hath is in your power. Only upon himself put not forth your hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord. Verse 16, While he was yet speaking, there came also another, and said, The fire of God is fallen from heaven, and hath burned up the sheep, and the servants, and consumed them, and I only am escaped alone to tell you. A great turning away has taken place. the beast is revealed as the head of the United Nations. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, King James Bible only. Before I continue with this verse, I want you to understand that the beast is a spirit, Satan is a spirit, the false prophet is a spirit, and they go from man to man. In other words, the first Secretary General of the United Nations is possessed by the beast. And when he is his time is up and somebody else is elected in, then this beast will enter into that man. Now when it comes to the Pope, the very first Pope is possessed by the false prophet, and then the next one and the next one. As these new popes come in, the false prophet spirit will enter into that man. These people are all sinners. They do not love God. False prophet means he's a liar, a pretender, and he is not of God, and he is this second beast that rises up out of the earth. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3, King James Bible only says, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, which means the son of the devil. Perdition is Satan, so the son of Satan. For there is only one true God, and Jesus Christ his Son. 1 Kings chapter 18, verse 37 through 40, King James Bible only. Verse 37. Hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that you are the Lord God, and that you have turned their heart back again. Verse 38. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. Verse 39. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, the Lord, he is the God. The Lord, he is the God. Verse 40. And Elijah said to them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape. And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there. Jesus made it clear. John chapter 17, verse 3, King James Bible only, to you saints. Verse 3, and this is life eternal, that they might know you, the only true God, and Jesus Christ, whom you have sent. I want you to understand something. Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He is not God. God created Jesus Christ in the beginning, before the world was. You might say, well, how do you know that? Because I see it. John has seen many revelations, and God has revealed to me many things, and this is only the beginning. Saints, this is for you, that you may know the truth, for God just gave this to me today. I know you will not be deceived. We are the elect. God bless you all. This has been GSR News.